welcome to First Lutheran Church in Lincoln, Nebraska. We are a congregation who since 1870 has been blessed by the grace of God and has sought to share those blessings and grace in works of love. Beginning with our Swedish roots, we've accepted and persevered through all the challenges as Lincoln transitioned from a small frontier town full of immigrants who've recently arrived from Europe to a bustling modern city of 300,000 people. We've adjusted to those challenges and changes, and we've held tight to some of our true traditions, like our love of music, the rich traditional Lutheran worship, our willingness to serve beyond these doors, and our openness to embrace all of God's people. In 2015, the congregation engaged in conversations about what it really means to be welcoming to all of God's people. The Congregational Council appointed a task force to draft a welcome statement that reflected our congregation's commitment to welcoming all of God's people. Early in 2016, our congregation unanimously approved that welcome statement for First Lutheran Church, which describes what we strive to be as a faith community. Each person is a unique creation of God, and through grace is a child of God. The people of First Lutheran Church welcome all because God welcomes all, without regard for race or culture, sexual orientation, gender identity or relationship status, physical or mental challenges, imprisonment, addictions, socioeconomic circumstances, or anything else that too often divides us. First Lutheran Church is a spiritual community that celebrates the gifts of God that can empower us to engage in the struggles of life, to care for each other, and to serve Christ where we work and live. Our unity is in Christ. Our statement was adopted to clarify that the congregation really means what it says and that our actions speak louder than words. Well, it didn't take long for us to realize that our current facility was not letting us live fully the mission of welcoming everyone. We had numerous safety and accessibility issues. So after a lot of research and discernment and planning and conversation, the congregation completed a successful capital campaign and launched our 18-month Called to Welcome building project that addressed those safety and accessibility issues. And we are excited today to show you how our commitment to living out that welcome statement is reflected in our newly renovated building. The number of automobile parking stalls identified for handicap use was inadequate, so we increased the number of stalls and placed them closer to the main entrance. The main entrance did not comply with the design standards of the Americans with Disabilities Act. It was steeper than permitted, and the handrails were not in compliance. The entrances were redesigned and are now in compliance in all areas. The main entry area from the parking lot was uncovered and open to weather conditions such as rain and snow and ice. But the new portico offers a safe drop-off space now during inclement weather, particularly for elderly and young families. It also provides a more welcoming first impression. As you come in the front doors of First Lutheran Church, you enter our new gathering area. Our previous entry didn't exhibit a welcoming appearance, so the new gathering space was designed to provide a more welcome feeling through the use of colors, floor covering, the windows, and the natural lighting. We also wanted to create a gathering space that would be more adequate in size for the flow of traffic, for fellowship time, for gathering, and for small group activities. The previous entry also didn't allow for safe viewing by church staff of visitors entering our building. So the main church office was relocated and designed to now have full view of the church entrance.
The sanctuary saw the biggest changes to our building project. The sanctuary is 55 years old, and it was becoming old and needed to be redesigned. We made it more welcoming, a brighter, fresher environment, and we still maintained the original iconic elements. As you can see, the hanging cross and the wood beams. Before our building remodel, the sanctuary was dark. It had minimal ambient light, and it was needing to be brighter. So what we did is we added programmable lighting, and then we added natural light. As you can see, we added a stained glass window here. And further down the hallway, we added a glass entrance door, which provides a lot more light and brightness to the sanctuary. The sanctuary flooring was old and tired, and the pews were uncomfortable. If you look at the new flooring, you can see that it adds a lightness to the space, and it's very inviting. The new pews are now padded and are much better for a more comfortable worship experience. Church choirs and instrumentalists previously were located in the balcony during worship services. And the only way to get to the balcony was through a very steep stairway. This caused us some accessibility issues, so what we did in response to that was to add this alcove to the side of our sanctuary, thus accommodating the music groups on the main floor. The chancel area was redesigned, including addition of a ramp, thus allowing those in wheelchairs or with mobility issues to fully participate or to volunteer in worship roles during the services.
The Commons area is a hub of activity at First Lutheran. Lots of space for meeting, small group meetings. On Sunday mornings, it's an opportunity for fellowship between services or before services to share coffee, juice, and most importantly, donut holes. Our restrooms weren't logically placed throughout the building. We had some areas of high traffic that had no restrooms and areas with no traffic that had lots of restrooms. So our building project changed our restrooms and made them more acceptable for ADA requirements. There are push-button doors, changing tables for both infants and adults, wider doors and stalls for people coming in. We also didn't have restrooms that allowed our children to go to the bathroom with appropriate supervision. And so now, as part of the building project, we have restrooms in adjoining classrooms that makes it a lot easier for kids to go to the bathroom and still be supervised while in the classroom.
During the renovation, we relocated the nursery down here where it is more accessible to parents, and it is also now a more welcoming environment for children. We've also now added a restroom so that the nursery workers can be present in the room while a child needs to use the restroom.
This is our Memorial Garden Columbarium, as you can see. This is a very peace and relaxed area that people can come and have time with their loved ones that are in the columbarium. We have 112 niches. We have 39 people that have been in-earned, and we have 53 that are reserved. This is our activity center, which has been added to church in 1998. This is used for congregational meetings. It's used for confirmation classes. When we started our building project, this replaced our sanctuary as they were working on that. So we had worship in here. When we did that, we added a sound system with acoustic baffles, and we added a new paint job. It's a welcoming place, as this whole church is. We also have jazz concerts here, First Friday Jazz, which we will have over 250 people attend. This is our new remodeled kitchen. It is large, much larger than our previous one, and it's safe, and it is ADA compliant. Our stove is very large, and it's very safe because our older stove was not so safe. This is being a much bigger kitchen, and as at your house, kitchens are a gathering place, and many people will gather here in the kitchen when we're having activities.
As we South Sudanese, because we are the family of Christ and the members of the First Lutheran Church value us, and we have a group. We have to pray at 12 o'clock. So we have services at 12 o'clock every Sundays. And we have a whole dialect, newer, and we have a Bible. We sing a song by our own language. So these are the things that we feel happy, feel relaxable, because this is our home. I call it is our home.
Our walk to becoming a welcoming congregation will likely never end. There's always going to be something more that we can learn to do better. But trusting in God's faithfulness and grace, we're committed to walking the walk together, no matter how long it takes, with one goal in mind: to welcome all because God welcomes all. We invite and welcome you to join us on this walk.